Well, I met Gabe's dad. I met him in college. We went to the University of Delaware, and we got married in 2005. We're married for 3.5 years, and he had a sudden cardiac arrhythmia. He died while I was 12 weeks pregnant with Gabe. So we had a baby about 6 months before Seth died. And unfortunately, my baby didn't make it. He was born at 23 weeks. So that was really traumatizing. It was upsetting. It was very hard for both of us. And in my heart, I feel like the stress of the second pregnancy and the fear, like I think it affected him. And I think that's what caused his heart to just give out the way it did. I, number one, was so traumatized from the entire thing. I didn't know if I was going to, after losing our first baby, I didn't see how I was going to actually keep the second pregnancy with Gabe. I am amazed. I'm so grateful. I didn't know what would happen. I thought because of all the stress, maybe something would happen, and thank God it did not. And, he was born healthy at 38.5 weeks, and I had a planned C-section with Gabe, but it was a hard pregnancy. Obviously, I was, pretty depressed. I was pretty alone. I joined a mom's group, and I think many people, do that when they have a baby, and then you start realizing, what I started realizing was my son wasn't pointing. He wasn't talking. He was trying to talk, but he wasn't. He stopped, if I would call his name, he would not look up at me. He was staring at the ceiling fan. He would take his trucks, turn them upside down, and start spinning the wheels. And my mother finally said something to me that she thought he had autism. I was praying every single night that it wasn't autism. I was really afraid because I just kept thinking, okay, this is hard enough. I'm doing this on my own right now. And if it turns out that he has special needs, and I'm still doing this by myself, how am I going to manage this? And you don't know what it's going to look like. Like, I had no clue. I knew nothing about autism. I knew absolutely nothing about it. And I didn't even want to read about it because I was so scared. I met Caroline about almost 5 years ago in November. And that was just kind of like a happy accident. I wasn't looking for a relationship, but I met her, and she fit so well into our lives. I want to say that my marriage to Seth was very healthy, but since he passed away, I went through a series of experiences where I was not looking for someone with the qualities I really should have been until Caroline came along. We were at dinner. It was our second date, and she's a teacher. So she was talking about a student in her class that was on the spectrum. And that was the opportunity I had to say, my son has autism. And she just did not bat an eye. It wasn't like she didn't seem bothered by it. Like, that's always been a fear, when you start dating, like telling someone that you have a child with special needs. But I was always so afraid of that. But if somebody has a problem with that, you don't want to be with them anyway. So it was the second date, and I knew she was fine with it. And then when she met Gabe, it was an instant connection. She was the only one who could get him to eat dinner. It was really cute. He definitely hit it off with her right away. It was at that point that I realized she's everything I want in a partner. And I didn't know that before. And if I didn't have Gabe, I don't know that I'd be looking for someone like her. I don't view my life my life is stressful, definitely, but it's really a happy life. I don't view it as a negative at all. The fact that I have a child with special needs.